What's up, guys? Bullfire the Fell-Handed here, bringing you the Art of the STB 1 Part 5. Here we are in Northwest, spawning on the northeast corner, and the Reds are spawning on the southwest corner. Now, in any tank, any medium, let me say, I like to head towards A1. Go run up there, lock that corner down, kind of see what's going on from there. I typically end up going that way regardless of which side I spawn on, because in my experience I find if you go to the middle you open up yourself from shots from the B5 area. So it just depends on your own personal preference, where you wish to go, so on and so forth. So for me I like to go around the corner here, get in the hills, use the STB's massive gun depression to my advantage, spot around, see what's going on, see what I can make happen. And that's, the best that you can do. It's not going to be Shakespeare every time. A potter cannot always use the finest clay every single time. So there's only so much you're going to be able to do. Sometimes you're just going to get rolled. And that's the thing. I want people to understand this. I don't post the games where I die within the first 30 seconds, okay? Everybody has those games. Nobody wants to see those games. But I just want to let you guys know that everybody has those games, myself included. The better you get, the less you have those games, at least in theory. Not saying that I'm better, but I'm at least okay. I consider myself okay. You want to be okay, follow this guide. So anyway, we're trying to be okay. We're going to go up here. We're going to see if we can't go ahead and spot some targets. We've already got some guys spotted. I'm going to try to see if we just can't pull up here and take a shot off. And as soon as I get the gun on target, the guy's gone. So, in other words, that's a big no. I have a couple of guys going this way with me. We're going to go around here and see what we can get into if we can't pull off some shots early in the game. Conserve health, that old chestnut. And you don't really want to go crazy and do risky things early on in the game. You want to save the crazy, risky, dumb shit for mid to late game, if at all possible. You just want to conserve your health as much and as long as possible in any tank. I mean, granted, it's a whole different ball game playing tank destroyers, heavies, what have you, artillery, light tanks. I may even go through and start doing guides on those. But right now, as you can see, we've got the gun bottomed out. I'm kind of turning sideways there, just kind of so you can visualize the depression on this tank. And if we were to get spotted, we would just back down the hill immediately. You don't want to just sit there. I see some of these new players, they just sit there and they shoot at somebody and they just sit in the same spot until they reload. Guys, if you're reloading, your tank is essentially useless. You need to pull back in. You not need to sit there and get shot. Please do it for the bull. Anyway, right now, we've got a couple of guys up here posted up. E4 already. We're going to see if we can't go up here and go ahead and try to get them off the board quick. And there's nothing better than getting a high tier tank destroyer off the board right off the jump. And that's what we're going for. We're going to go ahead, try to get this guy off the board, see what we can do. And you have to look at it overall that if you remove this guy from the board, how much damage would he have ended up causing the entire game? You really have to put a lot of math and numbers into it. If you take out, say, your average STB driver early on in the game, let's say you had to risk yourself to do it, you're down to half health. Okay, sure. Now, think about this. What if you take out a Super Unicom STB player for half, and you're down to half health early on in the game? Yeah, well, okay, I would say, alright, well, that's pretty worth it. So, it's risk versus reward, essentially. Put a round in the stage 2 there, and take a round from the Hirsch for our trouble. Well, we are going to turn the tables on the hearse, and I had the perfect idea. We're going to shoot right under this train. All he can see is our highly armored turret, and we're just going to pluck away at him. And this is exactly what I recommended a moment ago, is firing and then backing off. Firing and then backing off. All we're doing is staying still long enough to take a shot in. We're not going to even let the reticle sink in as far as possible sometimes, you know, and we don't really necessarily need that because we're not making a lot of movement, we're not moving the turret, we're just essentially doing laterals here while we're putting down suppressive fire. This is not a very difficult task to do. You know, you can even go somewhere in a practice room, a training room with one of your friends and try this. All we're doing here is laterals back and forth. You know, and just handing out beatdowns the whole time. So it's very easy to do, and you can do it with any tank. The STB just happened to be the right place at the right time. The hearse is still alive, of course. He's on the other side there. You can see on my map he just popped up. So we see his turret is completely in the opposite direction here. He has a very low traverse rate, so it's not like he's immediately going to be able to snap to us. So I probably would have even been able to get off another shot in addition to the one I landed as soon as I came down off the hill there. You kind of have to know the tank that you were in and the tank you were attacking as well. If you know both of those, you know what they can and cannot do. And that, more than anything else, really helps you. So this is why I recommend people to run a lot of different tanks, because it just kind of exposes you to the different skills that it takes and the different mindset you have to do to have a given tank. When I used to run my E100, mediums like the STB used to always just already be posted up in a spot. I'm on my way to the front and I get shot once or twice in the side. That may not seem like a big deal to a E100, but you know, you're already down 800 health out of 2700, so you've already lost a considerable bit of health just off the gate. So, you know, now I'm on the other side of that coin. Now I'm the one shooting the E100 in the side. So it's all about perspective, you know, teamwork, knowing the tank. There's so many things that you need to learn in order to be successful at this game, and so many things you need to be doing at the same time. But I digress. I'm talking about generalities instead of specific tanks. Now, you will notice that I have a heat round loaded. I'm trying to get this guy off the cap. I'm not really certain exactly what I'm going to see over here. There's an enemy STB up here. I put a round in him and the guy on the cap, and I get killed by the STB. And that's going to happen. We tried our best. You know, the STB was in too perfect of a position to overwatch the cap. I probably should have never went up there, but I was trying to defend the cap. I was low health. Granted, sure, I could have ran off and hid, but I was close to the cap. I was trying to make an impact. Yeah, we could have done a little bit better. We could have done something else, but I had that cap mentality of, oh god, we gotta get these guys off the cap, which everybody has. You know, everybody goes through that. They're like, oh man, I gotta get these guys off the cap right now. And the hearse here, I think he is lost or reloading or something. Yeah, he's definitely reloading. I think he's kind of running away. They've pulled off the cap at this point, and they are running to join the slaughter. Every person in an autoloader knows this pain right here of being empty and, you know, maybe engine damage, and you can't even run away good. We've all been there, so it's not a big deal. But at any rate, guys, thank you for watching the Art of the STB Part 5 Northwest. Sadly, we lost that game. We tried our best. We did okay, though, in the end, I think. 4,107 damage. Guys, thank you for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share.